Hello, and welcome to the Commission's presentation concerning regulation changes for third-party providers of proposition player services, registrations to licensing. As you may or may not know, the Gambling Control Act was amended almost 2 decades ago to provide the California Gambling Control Commission the responsibility and authority to regulate TPPPS businesses. The Commission exercises this authority under Business and Professions Code Section 19984 and duly adopted regulations. However, these initial regulations were quite old and had a number of idiosyncrasies. In fact, these regulations were adopted soon after Section 19984 was enacted, which was roughly almost 20 years ago. These regulations provided a process whereby TPPS businesses and employees could quickly get approved and start operating and working at a time when the Act, and indeed the Commission, were still relatively new. This process was in some ways similar to that of cardrooms and cardroom employees. The key difference, though, between TPPS businesses and cardrooms were that the former received a registration initially rather than a license. This registration functionally served in a similar manner to a license, but was issued before the Bureau had performed a full background investigation on the business or person. The registration could be continuously renewed every 2 years until the Bureau was prepared to investigate the registrant for conversion to a license. Once the Bureau completed its investigation and forwarded it to the Commission would consider the registrant for conversion to a license, considering essentially the same criteria as for a cardroom or a key employee. On January 1, 2021, the Commission adopted new licensing regulations, which implemented a number of changes to Commission and Bureau processes. These changes standardized practices across the industry and license types and eliminated many of the disparities between TPPS licensing and cardroom licensing. The new regulations have a significant impact on all approvals before the Commission, including TPPS businesses and employees. The regulations previously mentioned that covered the approval of TPPS registrations, including businesses, supervisors, as well as employees, in effect prior to January 1, 2021, have nearly all been repealed. The new licensing regulations standardize the application and licensing processes for all approvals under the Act, including TPPSs and cardrooms. Importantly, these regulations did away with the new registration process for TPPS entities and employees. The regulations will now honor those previously issued registrations and smoothly transition them to a temporary license. The standardization across license types is visible in the following ways. TPPS owners are licensed similarly to cardroom owners. TPPS supervisors are licensed similarly to cardroom key employees. TPPS employees are licensed similarly to cardroom employees who receive commission work permits. Other TPPS employees are licensed similarly to cardroom employees who receive a commission work permit. Another important change is that new TPPS registrations will no longer be issued. It is important to understand, though, this does not mean TPPS businesses will be unable to operate, but instead only means that they will not be able to obtain a new registration. Rather than issuing a new TPPS registration, TPPS owners, supervisors, and employees will receive a temporary license. This temporary license is requested at the same time as when the underlying application is submitted and undergoes a limited review in comparison to the underlying background investigation. This process is now the same as it is for cardroom owners and their employees. The processes to obtain these standardized licenses are covered in depth in other Commission tutorials, which are all available on the Commission's website and listed in the description below this video. If you have any questions following this presentation, you can contact the Bureau or the Commission in the following ways.